Hello and good morning, everyone. I'm Bintang, and if you have known me for a while, you must know that I love animals, right? And I do have some animals as my pet at home, because for me, having a pet makes life so much better. But of course, I also know that sometimes pet can also bring you trouble. For example, if they grow too big, or if they breed and you can no longer hold all of their family members in your house, simply many things can happen if you have a pet. But as a good pet owner, of course, we must do what's right for us and our pets, right? That's the point of a good pet owner. Well, unfortunately, not everyone is a good pet owner that can take a good care of their pet. Take a look at this, for example. An irresponsible owner just released not only one, two, or three, but 10 giant Arapaima gigas to the local river. And that's just terrible. Because a fish that can grow up to 3 meters long can eat anything that comes on its way. And even worse, nowadays, there are still some people that think that releasing their pet to the wild when the owner can no longer take good care of it is the best solution for both sides. The owner can get rid of that pet, and the animals, can have a better life in the more natural environment. I have to say it's totally wrong. Trust me. I've kept dozens of animals in my entire life, and I've done research on some pets that has been released to the wild by its owner and end up being an invasive species that damage the whole ecosystem, food chains, and even cause extinction towards other species. So, if you're a pet owner, whatever you do, whatever you think, don't ever release your pet to the wild. But it's just a goldfish, Bintang. How terrible it is to the environment. Well, you see, these are some examples of the most popular fish in the aquarium hobby: goldfish and pleco, or ikan sapu-sapu. And usually, when people get a new pet, they will like it that much. They will take a good care of it, they will feed them every day, every week, and a week turns into month, month turns into year, and without they even realize, their cute little fish eventually grow bigger and bigger until they are almost the size of their tank. And when they reach this point, usually the owner will come to the option either by getting a bigger tank, which will cost them more money, or by releasing them to the wild, which seemed to be a better solution. Well, of course, like I said previously on the Arapaima cases, that is wrong. Because here's the thing, not all fish that's sold in your local pet store is the fish that's originated from your country. Take a look at this pleco. It's a fish which originated from South America, which means if it's released in a river like Cisadane or Ciliwung, it's not their natural habitat. But what's the big deal, Ben? In their natural habitat, there's a natural predator that controls this fish population. And if there's no natural predator, this fish can easily take over the whole ecosystem of a river. Like this pleco. See, this is an example of how a group of pleco can take over the whole river. It's not a fake picture or in the aquarium full of pleco, no. It's the bottom of a river in Florida, which has been taken over by invasive pleco. And another example of an invasive species is, believe it or not, cats. You see, according to research that I got from the internet, feral cats have contributed to the extinction of 63 species of birds, mammals, and reptiles, and threaten over 430 species worldwide, therefore making them the second species that cause most extinction after human. Well, why it can happen? Because, you see, just like dogs, cats are one pet that lived closely to human civilization for over a decade. People brought them overseas and their species grew rapidly. You see, a single cat can give birth up to 6 kittens. And if the owner can no longer capable of housing the whole family of cats in their house, usually they just give it to others, sell it, or even worse, just put it somewhere and leave it. That's why their population grows so much rapidly. And you also need to remember that cats is a predator that prey on birds, reptiles, and small mammals. So that's conclude everything I said, right? Cats actually an invasive species. So now you may ask yourself, so what should I do if I can no longer house my pet in my house? The first and the most possible one for you to do is, like it or not, to kill your pet. But that's okay because there's always a prevention for that horrible thing, right? So the first thing that you must do is, of course, do your research before deciding which pet you want to buy. Do your research how big it can get, how much it will cost you, and what special treatment that it's need, and simply everything about your pet. Do your research. And the second, if you have mammals like dogs, cats, or maybe rabbits, if you don't want them to mate and have an offspring, sterilize your pet. That's the better option than just let them breed and then leave their offspring somewhere else and being not responsible to that animals. That's terrible. So, in short, to conclude everything that I've said, if you are a pet owner, don't ever release whatever pet you have to nature because it will cause a change in the food chain and it will lead to environmental problems. That's it. Thank you very much for listening and have a good day. Thank you.